everybody. Welcome back to the Big Picture Manatee. We're so excited to be here today. We are going to be discussing some exciting news that just has started to come in as of last Friday. Who qualified for the 2026 candidates for Manatee County elections? We may have somebody here in our midst that as well might be one of those people. However, I'm happy to have you here. We're here to educate, inform, and engage on important topics in Manatee County. My name's Sherry Courier, and I would love to introduce you to my colleagues today. So take it away.
Hey Sherry, so good to see you guys. I've missed you. We took a little break and now we're back, so thank you. My name is Misty Servia. I am the newest grandparent in my family,
Yay!
and I'm happy to be here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Reggie Bellamy. I'm the proud qualified candidate for District 6.
Yay!
There's a lot of great things going on in my life. Hey, the most important thing, we got the NBA Finals going down and basketball is wrapping down. So I'll be ready to work and push everything forward now so I won't have that basketball distraction. But I'm glad to be here. Let's get it started.
Oh,
Yep.
by the way, Reggie, I've been thinking about you. The basketball's been outrageous.
I love it. It's been going down the wire. There's a lot of good, great competitive games, and I mean, here we are. It normally wraps up as we get closer toward, Father's Day and things like that. But I just love great basketball and the competitiveness, and a lot of cheap elbows that I used to take every now and then. Not give, I always took them, so I get it.
I mean, can you hear me saying, well, I'm so happy for football season to be coming around again because those early polls show there's a team that I'm very fond of right up there at the top again. So, anyway, happy to be here. Reggie, some folks would say to me, like, oh, can Reggie really be on your show and the show and talk about the candidates and all those things? And be unbiased and what are you guys going to do? And I'm like, of all people, Reggie, now come on, he can do that. So I'm really happy to see you here today. And we kicked this off several months ago to talk about who had already put out their name on the campaign in Manatee County, especially in all the offices. Just to go back over that now as to actually who has qualified and some things about what that really means. I'm in District 1, and the governor still did not appoint anyone to serve in the remainder of Carol Felt's term. So that seat is still open, undecided, and we miss Carol. And what a shame something like that could happen. But it's the second time this has happened, and that's so weird, isn't it? I mean, to have it be empty, it's so just weird. So the last cycle, James Satcher left to run for supervisor of elections, and he left that open seat. And so we here in District 1 are anxious to get somebody who actually will stay for 4 years. And I'm sorry though, it'll only be 2 years because the
Oh, wow.
filling Carol's seat, and then it'll happen again in 28. So I don't know. But Misty, I know you watched this so closely. So who are all these candidates?
Well, they're also interesting, these district races. So District 1 is pretty crowded. So the qualifying candidates are all Republicans except for one Democrat. So the Republicans are Elizabeth Arnold, John Dunn, Michael Harrison, Adam Johnson. You know who he is, right? Remember?
Mhm.
The lectern. Sorry, Lindroos Valimaki. I hope I got her name right. She's the one Democrat, and then Mark Stanok and Leland Taylor, also Republicans. And then there's a guy who threw his name in as a write-in, and that's Jack May. You may have heard his name. He's big in the Republican clubs. And the write-in candidate is normally used to close the primary. So in this case, the primary is already closed because you have one Democrat and at least one Republican. But normally they have that people ask for a write-in candidate. And then what that does is it closes the primary. And in August, then only Republicans can vote for Republican candidates. And the same if you had Democrats running, only Democrats can vote for the Democrat. In Manatee, most candidates are Republicans, so this strategy has been very successful. And having only Republicans decide who their representatives will be, and it really just shuts out Democrats and NPAs. This is not my favorite system, but it is what we have.
You know, a lot of people don't understand that. So I bet you will talk about it again and Misty, because the whole write-in concept. But there's a process, you know, for qualifying, and there's two ways to get on the ballot. And it's important to kind of go over that stuff. So you collect, number one way is to collect the required number of petitions and signatures, which is about 1% of the registered voters in the district. The second way is to pay a fee, which is about $6,714.60 for a county commissioner. Yeah, for that is 6% of the salary. So that's so interesting. The number of registered voters, it could vary in each district. Like in District 1, you require 703 petitions. In District 2, 388. In District 4, you need 474. And in District 6, Reggie, which you know all about, it's the entire county. So you actually need 2,818, and that's a lot of signatures. And, you know, when you're considering it, that's about 20% of the petitions are really not accepted for various reasons. And hopefully both of you, since you've had to go through this, one more recently than other, you can kind of help us out with that. So, you know, that's kind of means they're incomplete, or maybe they didn't make it on there. So Reggie, you know, tell us what's going on.
Hey, the petition part was definitely an adventure, right? And I don't know whether I'm gonna go that far into it, but it gave an opportunity to circulate and get out there in the area. So that was an exciting experience, and we're going to take it and moving forward. Right now, we're going to talk about, you know, who's in the race for District 2, which is very, very, very close to my heart. And I'm sure if the listeners are not aware, I'm a former representative of District 2 as a county commissioner. So I'm excited about the race. My hat's off to all of the candidates that are in there. District 2 does not have a write-in candidate for this race because you have 2 Republicans and 1 Democrat. So the primary is automatically closed. The incumbent, Amanda Ballot, will face off against Ed Bailey Jr. And both of them, Ed Bailey Jr. and both of them are Republicans, and they'll face off in the Republican in the primary. And then the winner of that race will face an individual that I went against, you know, one or two times, and that's Charles Smith. He'll face him in the general. Amanda has served 1 term and wants to try to do it again. And Ed Bailey Jr. is new to politics. He was the former aide, the current commissioner, Dr. Bob McCann, and also recently formally endorsed by the great Bob. Charles Smith served as commissioner at one time, I think, from 2014 to 2018. That was his last cycle, but now he's given another shot at District 2 as a Democrat. So in District 4, in District 4 is interesting race as well. And I think District 4 is where, as our friend Misty, she formerly was in District 4 as a county commissioner when we served together. You know, so we do have a write-in candidate, presumably to close that. We do or we do not, do we? Do we have one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Glenn Gibellini will take on the incumbent, Mike Ron, you know, who's currently in seat now as far as the primary. We'll talk about Glenn, who has been very, 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 very active in the county, serving on the Affordable Housing Advisory Board, and not shy about sharing his opinions at board meetings. And Mike Ron has filed for his 2nd term, good friend there. Both of them are obviously friends. And now we have Allison Sneed, Madison Sneed as a write-in. So almost certainly only Republicans will decide this election, and that election will be decided on August 18th.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. And that is exactly how it goes. So, yeah, Allison Sneed, again, a friend to the local Republican clubs. I'm sure she volunteered to help out the team by being a write-in. And that's very standard practice that we have seen. So nothing new there. It's really a two-man race.
Yeah. Well, I have kind of noticed some things about the candidates. So everybody's been kind of quiet, right? Steering clear of like tainted political consultants as well as, different topics. If you all, who can forget Anthony Pedicini, who had the reputation as the lead guy to represent local developer candidates and ensure that they won. And that plan was thwarted really in 2024. And it's been kind of a crazy wild ride since then, right, Misty?
Yeah, I've noticed that too. It has been kind of quiet. It is early. It is the kind of that quiet time before the hurricane. But I would bet Mr. Pedicini has not disappeared. I bet he's just working behind the scenes. There's a lot to do with the PAC money. They call it the dark money, which is the money you don't see accounted for when you look at the supervisor of elections. So, yes, voters should know that what you see as money that's accounted is just a fraction of the real money that is used in campaigns. And so Pedicini's been known as an expert of nailing the nails in the coffin of those that he does not want to win. So I would bet he's still working behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, in several years ago, leading up to 2024, here on the Big Picture Manatee, we had Kathy Antunes to break down this whole dark money concept, and it was really educational for us and the viewers. And so we're really excited. We've asked Kathy to come back, and we're hoping to tape several shows to dig deep into all of this. So next month we'll be announcing for you when she's going to do that to educate them and make sure that everybody's looking for the right things, because that tells the story. I suspect, you guys may agree, you may not, but I would suspect that's all going on. There's probably a whole new way of doing it since we had Kathy on the show before, because people figured it out and got more educated. So, Reggie, I know you're in the middle of it all. It's like a big storm. I mean, does this race feel different to you than the last one, or is it the same?
Oh no, it's definitely not the same, because the race in District 2 was indeed a little bit closer, right? Because that's the area I was born and raised in, from a more intimate setting, walking the streets, you know, going back and forth to the youth center, the youth agencies, and things like that. So yeah, it's a little bit different, and the difference was a reality. If you look at it by the numbers, you have 480 petitions for District 2. You got 2,818.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, that makes it a little different. But one of the things that also makes it different, being someone that's homegrown, I have a lot of friends out west that couldn't vote and couldn't impact District 2. Right. But because District 6 now, the entire county, that's something that you're looking forward to. As far as, the money, and how the money is flowed through the PACs and things like that. I mean, it's a lot of moving and shaking behind the scenes, which is why I call it dark money, right? It's not meant for you, me, or us to know what's going on. It's meant to influence the voter, whether the influence is negative or positive, is meant to influence the voter. And the individuals who have that money and they want to put their money behind who they want to put it behind, they have that right. As an individual that could potentially fall victim to some of that money, but I fell victim to it the second campaign, and that was okay. I think from where I look at it, how the money influenced the vote is not necessarily a negative as much as it is a challenge. as far as, okay, the money can create, you know, the posters and the mailers and things like that. But the individual is what the voters should be responsible for vetting. And if someone sends you a mailer in the mail and gives you a good or bad picture, I think it's the voter's responsibility to vet that information to assure that they are making informed decisions, not just to be influenced, but to have a confirmed influence. And I think that's very, very important. But we do know this is how the game is played. You know, the PAC money is going to be shifted across the country, so it can take the individuals that are chasing it on a chase. And that's just exactly what's about to take place. But my focus is going to continue to be Reggie. And that sums it up as far as how the money will influence and things like that. You're going to need money to run campaigns, and I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit later. When Kathy gets back, I am looking forward to how that chase looks, right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of see who people are and, you know, what they want their money to stand for when you get into election season. So it's a big opportunity for all of us, for us to learn and move forward.
Yeah, I bet have you been putting a lot of miles on that bike?
The bicycle, to get a little bit of that energy out and everything like that. And I've started by walking a little bit more. And I mean, it's the season. And my thing is, I want to be in shape. I want to be prepared, you know, for the adrenaline rush. And sometimes you have letdowns. People don't want to support you. And I respect those who don't want that. But that's why you ride that bicycle. You air it out and you continue on and you try to appeal to the voters so you can move forward.
Yep. 734 square miles of Manatee. It's a big place. Oh my God, there's lots happening. It's so great to see you guys again. It's going to be a long, hot, but exciting summer. And with these elections, it's I think our pleasure to educate the voters, try to hit topics that people have questions and sometimes people are afraid to ask, like what the whole write-in thing is and all that stuff. So I'm really, thankful for those explanations. So stay tuned. We're going to be bringing you more other races. The school board will probably also be looking at state races, which are really heating up as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching today's show. And please reach out to us, send us your suggestions on other topics that matter to you at the Big Picture Manatee. We would love to hear from you. Please follow us on Facebook and also on YouTube.
Right, wrapping everything up. Remember, you'll find our updates and our show on the Big Picture Manatee by subscribing and liking and listening to us on our YouTube channel, the Big Picture Manatee.
Well, great. Thanks again. I think you'll be seeing Reggie out a lot, but you'll be seeing Missy here. So have a great day. Bye, everyone. See ya.